Hello one and all, and welcome to a special little video on the Let's Judge How to Be Funny series. Saying it, I'm putting it right out there, I am an idiot. I am an idiot, Stimpy. Because I had a number 12 video which showed off the end of the game because I cheated my way past that last boss. However, I shift deleted it because I thought I'd finished uploading it when I'd finished uploading the second last one. So I am an idiot because I'd also shift deleted the game folder itself beforehand and figured I wouldn't need it and its precious save file. So there's no ending to this game. Well, there is. You beat the boss, you walk up onto a stage, well, you talk to the dude, walk up onto a stage, people laugh at you because you're so, funny, and that was the end. And it was interesting. Basically, I'm making this video because the game needs another rundown, which was also at the end of the last video because, again, I am an idiot. So, let me get my little book of secrets, and let's give this game another rundown, shall we? Graphics. I like the graphics in this. The maps were really well done for a game that was very disconnected and hectic and crazy. It was odd seeing fire maps with suddenly castle bedrooms and ice maps and underground maps and, suddenly, oh, we're in a library. But it fit with the actual feel of the game, of this random place that was generated just for this guy to walk through and collect these hilarity crystals and powers and abilities. And that was, not bad. I found that rather interesting. I rather enjoyed it, actually. I thought it was pretty cool. The characters, I didn't realize, and I'll point this out now, but I didn't realize that your little friend was actually a wisp with eyes and a mouth cut out and stuck on it. So I'm a bit of an idiot, and sometimes I'm slow to pick things up. Very slow to do so. But I figured that out, and I got that, and laughed my ass off while getting it right at the end. So slow. I thought it was interesting, the the way you went about it. I enjoyed the little poses and whatnot that occurred throughout, and the little movements and such. That it was a bit odd because I won't say that graphics matched, because the whole alien thing and just popping out of nowhere, and certain things like the big googly monster at the end, who is a bitch, by the way, they were all quite terrifyingly, well, they didn't match very well. And yet, it added a sort of otherworldly feel to it, that you had these things that did not match and were not from the same world, obviously, as the character who was walking through, who was supposed to be your avatar, but yeah, we'll get onto that in a moment. It was an interesting dichotomy, and I think it worked pretty well to show that these things were not actually a part of your world. The battle graphics, I don't know what the fuck was going on there. I guess they were also created by the alien, but they were so crazy and random, and people that we knew from our world and shit like that. It was just mental, but a good kind of mental. I didn't mind it too much. Yeah, I mean, the first time I saw it, I'm sure I laughed my ass off. But it was an interesting way of, presenting a game. Sound, I rather like the sound. Sound was interesting in that it played a pretty big part in this game, and usually people don't really, unless it's a horror game, people don't pay attention to making sound a big part of the game, which should be done more often, because our aural senses, that is our ears, are usually not oral, aural, usually they play a big part in games. It's why we respond so much to dramatic music. But the little things can help enhance a game as well, which is what this did. Small sounds helped enhance the gameplay. Even something so small as when you got onto the stage at the end, which you guys never saw, you'll have to play it to do it yourself, the clapping and the audience laughing, it made you feel good that you'd actually accomplished that goal and actually made people laugh. And it wasn't interesting. I mean, there were sound bites and clips and stuff like that throughout, which helped enhance the otherworldliness of the actual game, and I thought it was an interesting way to do things. I mean, it wouldn't probably work in a typical RPG to have all these random sound bites, but it worked in the mythos or ethos or something off of this game, and well, I thought it fit quite well, and it was an interesting way to present things. I said that for the last one. Oh, shut up, Liberty. Gameplay. Oh boy, here's where the fun begins. The gameplay was, well, mainly battles. I mean, there was the shop, and that was good. But the battles were a bit on the tougher side, especially the boss battles. They started off pretty, decent, but towards the end, oh my god, Father. Towards the end, those bosses, the thing is, for a game with depth like this, which has a deep story to tell, not a typical RPG where you can grind and go for a challenge and you want to know, what the characters are going through next, and, get to the next boss, get to the next area, yes, we must save the world. In a game like that, you can have bosses where you have to do them over and over again and find the actual way to do them. But in a game with depth like this, with that doesn't rely on story to tell a tale, you really have to work on allowing people to be able to maybe once or twice be defeated, but then allow them to find the way to pass the boss. And towards the end, it was like the bosses were not catered towards being able to be passed. I mean, I had to nerf one of them pretty badly before I could get past the damn thing, and I'm not an amateur when it comes to RPG Maker games, or RPGs in general. I mean, I bet Ozma pretty easily. Well, not easily, but, 2 or 3 fights he was done with once I figured out his weakness. But, or non-weakness as it was, fucking for Ozma. But in a game like this, where you're propelled, it's not a game that's going to hold a person's interest so long that they're going to want to defeat a boss over and over again in order to get to the next part. This is a pick up, play, and then put down forever game, and then reminisce on it every now and again and think, oh yeah, that was a pretty neat game. That was pretty cool. Yeah, that was awesome. That was really good. But it's not one that you're going to be going, oh, I gotta play that again. That was, the story, the characters, I absolutely loved every little bit about it. It's something that you think about later and when you're, being all philosophical and shit. It's... Some of the issues were pretty easy to spot, like, it's the same problem I had with Depression. It was a game that was supposed to make you think, and sure, there was a grind and whatnot because it was supposed to depict going through life, but it was a bit too much. And I know that bosses are supposed to be, oh my god, they're so scary and hard, but it was a little bit too much, especially with... I mean, it was a nice gimmick to have them spawning their little friends to come and help, but they could have been nerfed a bit. And when you've only got 2 characters, if you're shut out of your skills for like 3 or 4 turns, that can mean instant death for a party. And I can tell you now, especially when the character who is shut out is your healer, that's going to mean a lot of instant death. The items were okay. You could have done a percentage where instead of making it a hard number, it could have been a 60%'s a good number. You could have made it 60%, so that when you're at 2,000 life, it would refill 1,300, 1,200, something like that. Yeah, 1,200, which is a pretty decent amount. I mean, it's not full life, but it's going to negate some of the damage that you're getting done to you at the start of every turn while you're waiting to be healed. And please turn up the speed of your items, my god. If you're going to give spells and items that heal, at least turn them up a bit speed-wise so that they can go first, because there's nothing worse than trying to heal that desperate somebody who's on the edge of life and having them dead before you can get a healing skill or spell or item off. Hell, if you can even make it based on how much life you have left, or how much life the person who's going to have it used on has left, then do that. The less their life, the faster it goes. That would work. That would be good. Overall, it was okay. I mean, there were some mobs that I ran from, because with 2 characters, it's kind of hard to beat out like 6 or 7 fuckers, especially when that asshole microphone turns up to the fight. Then yes, but otherwise, that's, it was okay. In a lot of parts, it was okay, but in others, I did like the skills though. The skills were pretty cool, and the way you got them. I just wish some of the battles had been a bit easier. Plot. Well, there wasn't really much of a plot, was there? I mean, there was this guy who was kidnapped by an alien species to be taught how to be funny. And that was it. Now, I know the avatar was supposed to be you, and it was supposed to be a deep, meaningful tromp through a dungeon, but you didn't really get to feel like it was you, because your choices really didn't have any effect on the world. When you're doing a you player perspective, you either have people that you can you should have people that you can talk to and whose choices you make matter, or make some sort of interaction with the world so that it seems what you do really does matter. In the end, it came off as a little shallower than it could have been, but it was still a pretty interesting plot. It was pretty different from what I had expected, and very different from everything else that had been thrown at me during the games so far. And I liked it. I did like it in general. I thought it was pretty good. So, and while it wasn't most fun game to play, it has some sort of charm. It does have some charm to it. So that's my round off for it. If you want to see how it ends, go play the game. Have fun with that and enjoy. I'd probably wait to see if Gibmaker actually updates it and adds a few changes. I don't know if he will. It is a contest game and he's probably washing his hands of it. I know I'm doing the same with Citadel, so but it's yeah, it's what can I say? It's a decent game. Try it out. Give it a swim. Give it a spin. You might find more enjoyment in it than me. If you like grinding up and, you know, strange storylines and oddity, then you'll definitely enjoy it. So, I guess I'm signing out. This was Liberty, judging how to be funny. And I wasn't trying to be funny. I think I need lessons. Well, for now, ciao.